Oh, what's up in there? Yes, yes. Oh my days, the music's still playing. Yes, 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 people. Hope everyone is doing well, and hope everyone. Oh man, that music is just mad. It's just mad. Put me off there. Yeah, everybody. Agree. Bosh. There we go. To everybody, man. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. We're gonna chat about on a slot. We're going to chat about the fraud that is slot. And I'm going to explain to you people why nothing has changed. Because do let me know if the mic is okay as well. A couple of you already in the building. 12 of you already in the building, man. Bless up to everybody. Drop the like. Sure you're hitting the subscribe button as well. We're literally 6 subs from 2.6k. Trying to be on that race to 3,000 subscribers. We can there. So we're about on a slot, the Wirtz injury, and almost Salah be sold in the summer. I didn't dodgy the mind. Is that better now? That should be better. That should be better. Maybe if I know if that's a lot better. You'll have to chat. Let me know in the chat because I can like adjust the volumes and stuff. But no, chat. Look, I'm honest. Where's this coming from? That Liverpool and things around? Because this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about have Liverpool actually turned things around. I really don't believe we turned around. I'm not coming on here to be negative or trying to be different from anyone else. However, I don't see where Liverpool actually turned things around. Now, this tweet from Action. Liverpool have 5 wins in their last 6, including 16 goals and only 3 goals conceded. Do you believe that Liverpool have now turned a corner? No, we've seen this before. It's again. Okay, that should be perfect now. Forest should have scored 2-3 goals. Yeah. But where's the narrative that we've actually been really good? If we actually look at it, Qarabag, I mean, I'm not being funny yet. If you're not beating Qarabag at home, then what are we doing here? Like, come on, man, we should be beating Qarabag at home anyway. Newcastle, first half, we was absolutely obliterated. Should have been 2-3 goals down. Second half was fantastic performance. Man City, I thought we played okay. However, in that first half, we couldn't even get a touch on the ball, let alone create anything. Sunderland away, good performance. I'll give it them. Brighton in the FA Cup. Forest, we were absolutely terrible. So I don't know where this is narrative that we've actually been really good and we turned a corner. Well, the statistics say we have. That's it. We have 1 loss in 6 and only conceded 3, and 2 of them were in 1 game and 3 clean sheets in a row. Everyone's automatically back on the bandwagon. Oh my God, Slot's turning it around. Go back on Twitter. Go back and watch these last 6 games. Please tell me where we've actually played consistently well in the 6 games. Have we actually been fantastic in the 6 games? No. Qarabag, bang average. We won 6-0. Cool. Newcastle. I mean, we should have been 2-3 goals down. The same problems yet again. Man City was atrocious. Sunderland and Brighton, I'll give you. And Forest, we should have been 2-3 goals down. If Forest had any somewhat of a decent level attacking finisher, they would have put us to the sword. They would have put us to a sword. It took a 97th minute winner against a relegation side against Nottingham Forest. What are we doing here? Where is this narrative that we have actually turned things around? Because if we look, right, at our fixtures, let's go back from the West Ham game. Look at this unbeaten run. the mad unbeaten run that we was on, all the way up until the Bournemouth loss. Were people saying anything then? And bearing in mind, before people could start saying stuff, we beat some decent teams. Inter Milan away, good performance. Brighton at home, you never know what they can possess. Arsenal was a good performance. But there was still loads of stinky-ass performances in there. Leeds was terrible. Fulham was terrible. Burnley was shite. The Leeds and Sunderland game were atrocious to watch. Wolves, we were struggling against Wolves. So this narrative that we're on some absolute fantastic unbeaten run, I'm not really understanding on where is it coming from, because I'm looking at it from a perspective of we've not played well. The manager's still coming out with a load of bullshit in press conferences. The manager's still coming out and making excuses. The manager's still coming out and speaking about other teams when he's not the fucking coach of that team. PSG and Forest, he's obsessed. They're going to start put restraining orders on this man very soon. The way he keeps talking about them and stuff like that. Let me big up the chat. Big up to Christopher. Hope you're doing well, my friend. He still says slot out. Big up to Jacob in the house. Facts still got to go for me. Bless up, lad. Big up. You still want him out then? Yep. What happens if he wins the UCL? I've still said I said for me, if Arne Slot wins the Champions League and the FA Cup, would I give him another go? I don't know. I really don't know. And I know that's something maybe wild to say, but we've seen managers be sacked after winning trophies. Conte, the following season at Chelsea, Ange Postecoglou delivered probably their Spurs fans, their greatest night of their life, who was sacked. Erik ten Hag won the FA Cup, sacked. Bayern Munich and Real Madrid managers have sacked their managers after winning trophies. So why should we be different? Why should Liverpool Football Club be different? Why should we be different? Do you know what I mean? Why should Liverpool be different, chat? Why should we be different to other teams? Where is our standards? Where have they gone? Where have our standards at Liverpool Football Club gone? They've gone. Because this is where everyone's like falling into the love trap again. Oh, if he wins the UCL, keep him in the job. Okay, then. So, right. Okay, cool. You've won me a Champions League. Are we just going to forget everything else we saw in the season? What happens if that happens again next season? If he wins a Champions League, he will not get sacked for at least, in my opinion. I think there's a world where if he gets Champions League every year, he'll just never get sacked. Because the club will look at him as like, he's won us a Champions League, he's won us a Premier League, he's keeping consistency in the Champions League football, no reason to sack him. He will get given a hefty contract. Big up to Lewis, lad. Big up to Jordan in the chat. Big up to Ant Dicko. Hopefully the mic's all right now. Generally, that first half at Forest was entertaining as starting at a blank wall. It was terrible. I don't understand where this narrative that we've turned things around. The manager still sets us up very poorly, and after 20-30 minutes he's like, oh shit, it's not working, so let me try and make a couple of tactical substitutions. While that is great, showing that you can make tactical ideas from the touchline, but what about starting games? Why is it every game we start we're fucking crap? When was the last time we played well from minute 1 to 90 in the Premier League? Sunderland ish. I mean, it wasn't like frighteningly amazing. When was our last time when we started fantastic from start to finish in the Premier League and we was like, yo, what a performance? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It's gone again. Hopefully it should be all right now. Forest should have scored 2-3 goals. Yep. Yeah, they should have. I was at the City game at home and they literally walked through us, especially the first half. There was, yeah. There was walking through. There was literally walking through us. We still get walked through. The defence, I would say it's improved. Konate and Van Dijk as a partnership. I think because now Kirkes is coming into his own, he's starting to become a lot more settled into the team. I think defensively, it's better. We're better defensively because Konate and Van Dijk have shown that. partnership qualities, and Kirkes has been good as well. Do you know what I mean? Alisson's made some decent saves, but the midfield is dross. The attack is shambolic. The attack is so disconnected. It's like having a PlayStation controller fucking dead and there's no charger. No batteries, no nothing. It's just dead, it won't turn on. The attack won't turn on. Rion Gamoa and Chiesa did more. Chiesa, who's got about 2 pace, did more in 13 minutes than Cody Gakpo and Mohamed Salah. Rion Gamoa, a 17-year-old kid, did more in 13 minutes than Mohamed Salah and Cody Gakpo. And these are other problems where we have to criticise the manager because, yes, it's okay getting a couple of good results, but what about the performances? What about the consistency? Having favourites? How is Gakpo not being fucking dropped? And let's not forget everything else he has said in press conferences this season. I will never forgive him for what he said. Oh, yeah, I'm kind of happy to basically be at the Carabao Cup. Happy to be at the Carabao Cup. You should have been sacked on the spot for that comment alone. Slot isn't getting sacked. This team really is shit. No sack, please. Wolves were all over us at Anfield. We were hanging on. Yep. So in that fake, remember that fake unbeaten run we was on? Yeah. And everyone was gassing that up. Where did we play well in this? And now we're on another little mini run. You know, 1 loss in 6. Everyone's trying to gas it up again. And it's like I said, Quarabag, I'm sorry. You've got to be smashing Quarabag. Newcastle, first half was awful. We basically just opened them up with our attackers in the second half and beat them. I mean, Newcastle they've been a mixed bag away from home this season. Man City wasn't great. Sunderland, I will give you because they've been good at the stadium I like this season. Brighton in the FA Cup. I mean, Brighton rested half of their team. And Nottingham Forest, we were shit. So where did we actually play well in those 6 games in terms of a consistency in the performance? We didn't. Big up to everybody in the building, man. 17 of you in here. Hit the like button and make sure you hit the subscribe button. We're trying to hit 25 likes on the stream, and we're literally about less than 6 subs from 2.6k. He can win the FA Cup and Champions League, finish 3rd, and I still want him sacked. Next round, LFC is going to be out to Bruges. I mean, okay. He's lucky Chelsea are pretty crap. We'll probably be sneaking 5th. Yeah, we're lucky that Chelsea probably have some unbelievable dangerous fixtures to the point where that will be a reason as to why we probably get Champions League football. I genuinely do believe the Premier League table, a lot of people do say the Premier League table never lies. I actually genuinely believe the Premier League table is lying because we're one of the worst at defending set pieces. We're one of the worst at attacking phases of play in the attack when it comes to our wide players. Our midfield is non-existent, barring Dominic Szoboszlai. Where's Slot's new ideas? There's no new ideas. Slot's contract runs out in 2077. Hopefully he'll be gone after that. I mean, he should be gone now. What's Slot's new contract then? Only 1 year left. That's where it's going to be really interesting because, you know, there is a lot of talk. Will he be given a new contract? I think this summer we're going to know this summer the future of Arne Slot because if he's going to stay, he'll get given a new contract, I presume. It should probably be like a 1-year extension or 2-year, whatever. And if not, he'll get the boot. Harden was clean through it after a minute. More than walk through. It's a celebrity nightclub appearance. Man said a celebrity nightclub appearance, you know. Got sentiments pulling out 50-50s. Yeah, you got Gravenberch doing this. McAllister. Poor this season. When's the clubbing video? Vid coming. So the second channel will be up and running next week. The first video will be in 2 weeks' time. So yeah, basically, I've downloaded an app where I'm gonna put in all the cities where I've been at clubbing. So I've been to London, Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham. I've done Newcastle. I've done Birmingham. I've done Nottingham. I've done where have I done? I've actually done a night out at Middlesbrough. That was interesting. I've done Hull. I've done Leeds. Well, I've technically done Leeds, but I won't like the Leeds night out was. I won't really call it a night out, but and basically, I'm just gonna spin the wheel, and wherever it lands, we're going there for a night out, and we're gonna vlog it. That's basically going to be the first video. Now, lucky enough, I've got the fucking money for the video set aside, because if we do land on fucking, I don't know, London, then I'm gonna have to make sure we've got the money set aside. So I've put a bit of money aside for the video. It's gonna be fucking interesting, isn't it? And I basically kind of want to do it like once a month, where we go to a random place, go on a night out, and vlog the damn thing. But we're not just gonna do like clubbing videos. The vlogging channel is gonna be vlogs and stuff. Salah has to go. Start benching Salah and Gakpo. Do you know what I mean? 100% agree with Reacts. If we win the UCL, Slot will get a 5-year contract. Luton Town, please. What, you want me to do a night out in Luton Town? Mate, I will be honest with you. I am not doing a night out in fucking Luton. Listen, if I go on a night out in Luton, I probably won't come home. I've been to Luton once, and it was kind of more of a passing through on my way to London. So I won't really call it like I've been to Luton, but we went through Luton, and my God, it is a fucking dive. So, shock news, I probably won't be doing a night out in Luton. I haven't been clubbing since my 20s. Fairs. I heard it was a great place to do this. Luton ain't great. Yeah, I am doing a night out in Luton. Like, what are we doing here? So that's where all the places I've been on nights out and stuff. All those places, and I'm basically just gonna get a wheel, spin it, fucking bosh. But yeah, chat. Look, do I think Slot can actually turn it around? You know, look, I was Slot out after the PSV loss. That's for me when I turned Arne Slot out. I wanted him sacked. You know, I was probably one of the remaining content creators in terms of their opinions on a Slot being in. You know, what we saw last season was a manager that actually had a bit of confidence, a manager that actually had somewhat of a style of play, a manager that actually had humbleness about him. You know, the way he comes across, you know, in the sense of, look, we don't celebrate now, we celebrate at the end of the season, because trophies is what matters. And I actually liked the mentality of that. And the mentality of the man now, he's a shadow of a man a year ago. You know, Liverpool have been poor for probably about a year now since we started playing PSG. You know, we've been poor for about a year now. And I think obviously papering over the cracks, because we ultimately won the league. You know, we was all on cloud nine, we was all on absolute fucking vibes, celebrating the league title. Just getting win by win, and to be fair, Arsenal made it very much easier for us to you know, do a fucking night out to win the league as well, you know. But I'm not taking anything away from him, you know. He won the league last season, and that's credit to him as a manager and everything. But for me, like, he's a shadow of a man. You know, the press conferences alone, chat. I've been saying this for a while. I don't know if people watch the press conferences or anything like that, but the press conferences alone are a sackable offence. The press conferences alone are a genuinely sackable offence, because genuinely, the stuff that he has said, the way he's spoken about Harvey Elliott, the way he's spoken about the team, the way he comes across arrogant. Oh, I won a league in my first season, comparing managers that won a league in one title in 5 years. You know, constantly talking about other teams. Like, why are you talking about other teams? You're in a Liverpool press conference. The only teams that you should be speaking about is the team that you're playing on the weekend, in terms of a brief thoughts and opinions, because you get asked that question, and you should be speaking about Liverpool Football Club and the team because you're a manager of that. You shouldn't be speaking about teams that you played previously in the past. Like, how many times has he mentioned Paris Saint-Germain? Like, it's actually crazy how many times he has mentioned Paris Saint-Germain. Last season, we had it with Nottingham Forest, constantly referring to Forest. Now it's PSG. You know, how is this a good set of accountability? You know, coming across and making excuses in press conferences. When does he ever say, yeah, it's my fault? When does he ever say that? You know, saying other things. I'm glad to be at the Carabao Cup because I want to prioritise other games. And those other games was Aston Villa, Real Madrid, and Manchester City. You won 2 out of 3. Okay, cool. But you could have got through to the next round of the Carabao Cup and you would have been in the quarter final. I prioritise trophies over wins. Trophies is what that matters. If you say to me, would you rather Liverpool get Champions League football or Liverpool win the FA Cup? Financially and the long term, Champions League is probably better for Liverpool because it means we can get better players. You know, we can attract them better as opposed to Europa League. But for me, I'm taking an FA Cup over Champions League. I don't know when this narrative that Champions League has become a trophy. Like, are we going to have a parade at the end of the season then? Are we having a parade at the end of the season? Because I want to make sure I've got time off everything to go to watch the parade. Because when has top 4 been a trophy? You know, he looks like a manager that is clueless, a manager that is falling out of love with the fans. He never really connected well with the fans. And I said this many times in the channel in the summer. One thing that Arne needs to do as a manager is try and build a relationship with the fans. That's why Jurgen Klopp had so much credit in the bank, because he had such a connection with the city of Liverpool and a connection with the fan base. Arne Slot's never really had that. And I get it, some managers take a bit of time to warm to the fans and, you know, they're rather strictly strict down to business. Okay, then that's fine, because if you wanted to get strictly down to business and you're not doing the business on and off the pitch, then yeah, you're going to be criticised even more, in my opinion. Copenhagen, I don't really know what you mean. Newcastle would be lit. Newcastle Nights Out is all right, to be fair. Are there going to be abroad versions? Yeah, we are going to go abroad. Like, we are going to go abroad. Don't worry about that. We are going to go abroad for Nights Out. Man said a strip club in Atlanta. Can't say I've ever been there, mate. Glasgow would make a great vid for subtitles. Yeah, I mean, look, we've got some ideas for it. Bro, Champions League is special. All tunes in for the Champions League, 100%. Nobody's like Klopp. Oh my god, unless you want Simeone. Yeah, I wouldn't even say it's about having a manager like Klopp. I think it's more just having a manager that actually comes out and takes accountability, a manager that can actually come out and speak to the fans and speak to why they went wrong. And I know they did a round table sort of thing, but I'm sorry, you don't get more fucking PR than that. You don't get more PR than that round table. That round table was an absolute disgrace. I'm sorry. That round table was genuinely it was a hard watch. You want Glasner? Listen, I would rather take LFC in the chat. I'd rather take you as manager, Trudon, and Dicko in the chat, Clive. Who else we got in the building? Lewis. I would take any of you, man, over flipping Glasner. I've never been one of these guys that's actually rated Glasner as a manager. Never rated him. I think he's just a big yes man. But no, look, if we're looking at this in hindsight, chat, I mean, look, do I believe what do I think the club will do? I think what the club will do, if Slot somehow managed to get his third, I don't think he'd be sacked. I think the only way Arne Slot is actually sacked is if we don't get Champions League football. I think if we get Champions League football, do I think he gets sacked? I think he will only get sacked if we get Champions League football. If Xabi Alonso does say, yes, I want to come to Liverpool. As of right now, we can only go based off rumours and opinions that we all think that Xabi Alonso would come to Liverpool. because obviously we know Richard Hughes and everyone that was ultimately, you know, that's ultimately their opinions. But in my opinion, I mean, look, this is what Indy Carlo News said. Look, take Indy Carlo with very much of a pinch of salt. Exclusive Arne Slot will have his review on Monday, the 25th of May, with LFC officials. The manager's job is still not safe, even if UCL qualification is achieved. The review will be moved to Tuesday, the 2nd June, if Liverpool are involved in the Champions League final. I mean, look, we have to make big decisions because we need a rebuild again. We have to make sure we get this right, because if we don't get this right, we could be setting ourselves back for years. 40 years if Liverpool do not get this correct, because we need to sell players in the summer. We need to be moving on players. Players, unfortunately, I'm sorry, have to go. Some of them have to go. Some of them have to leave the football club. Do you know what I mean? And we need you could argue we need a midfield rebuild. We need 2-3 centre backs. We need 2 attackers. And if you give that to Arne Slot and it all goes fucking wrong, then you set your club back years. Especially with Arsenal, Man City will get stronger. I think Manchester United, depending on what they're going to be doing, they're going to get Champions League football. Depending on what they do with Carrick or whatnot, they're improving. I think Chelsea. I mean, I'll argue. The thing is with Chelsea though is they're a circus as well. Aston Villa, they're going to improve if they get Champions League football, and whatnot. And I think if they can somehow win the Europa League, which I do think they could potentially do, they're going to improve. They're a club that actually shows they can spend money. I think they've got the 4th richest owners in the league, behind Manchester City, Newcastle. There's another club as well. I think they're like 3rd or 4th in terms of the richest owners in the league. So they can spend money. They can spend money. You saw that in January. They brought in Tammy Abraham, 25 million quid. I know it's cheap, but came in and he's done a decent job so far. They're willing to spend money on players. So for me, it is a concern. I will be very concerned still if we get Champions League football, because yes, it's all great getting Champions League next season. Yes, the love affair with the Champions League. But we don't know what's going to happen. I think also it makes it difficult because there is a World Cup. And this is where we might see the fucking narratives again. Do you remember back in 2024, we heard the narrative of, oh, it's the Euros. That's the reason why we haven't brought anyone in yet. Then it was, the manager wants to assess his squad. I mean, come on, man. Arne Slot does not need to assess if Mohamed Salah is a good footballer or not. He does not need to assess if he thinks Alexis McAllister, Van Dijk, Alisson, whatever, are good footballers or not. It was just another weird way of putting it, as in basically we're not going to spend money unless there was a player or two that it just kind of made sense. Like Chiesa for 10 million at the time made sense. Zubimendi at the time made sense. So I hear it from those perspectives. But in my honest and humble opinion, and if I'm being truly honest with you, I think he gets sacked if this is what I see. If we don't get Champions League football, I think he's sacked. If he does get Champions League football, I think he gets sacked only if Jabi Alonso does say, yes, I will come to Liverpool now. If it's one of those ones where he wants to go back to a Bayer Leverkusen type club, rebuild his CV a bit, rebuild the confidence or whatever, and he doesn't want to go to Liverpool, then just yet, Liverpool might keep on a slot. I was watching Jamie Phillips, big up to him, a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember what channel. I think he might have been saying on Donny Sam's channel. I can't remember. And he said a really good point in the perspective of maybe Liverpool just see it as a bad season. We've had a lot of things go wrong at the club, off the pitch. Obviously, things that we don't really want to be talking about because it's about respect and it's not fair to do so. And I think maybe the club could look at it from that perspective. don't be surprised if the club do genuinely look at it from that perspective. If he gets Champions League and somehow scams away to an FA Cup, the club genuinely might be like, you know what? It might have just been a really unlucky transition season. Obviously, us as fans, we don't think so because we know what we watched with our eyes on and off the pitch this season, in the press conferences, in the interviews, in the post matches, and also most importantly on the pitch. We know what we've watched. It's not been just unlucky. Do I think we've been unlucky in any sense this season? Maybe in injuries at right back. We've been unlucky at right back. Frimpong with a couple of hamstrings. Conor Bradley's gone out for the season. Gomez has gone down for a little bit. I think we've been unlucky at right back in terms of injuries. In terms of everything else, we haven't really struggled with injuries. Wirtz has stayed relatively fit. Okay, we've had Isak out. Isak and right back issues. Everywhere else has stayed fit. Our left backs have been fit. Our centre backs have been fit a little bit. Our midfield has been relatively fit. Our attackers have been relatively fit, barring Alexander Isak, and that's it. So I don't know where this narrative of you've been unlucky. How can you be unlucky? What, by playing poorly? How can you be unlucky with your midfield just constantly getting run through? How can you be unlucky with having an attack that is so far disconnected? Gakpo so one-dimensional. Mo Salah just being non-existent. I feel sorry for Hugo Ekitike because he actually looks exhausted. He actually genuinely looks exhausted to the point of, like, he doesn't really know what to do. He doesn't really know what to do. So, in my humble opinion, I don't know where this narrative has genuinely come from. Obviously, respect to Jamie on what he thinks, but let's just look at it from the club's perspective. How can the club possibly think we've been unlucky? And this is where, full respects, condolences to the family to this day and forever, to the family of Diego Jota. But I want to mention something. Yeah? I'm going to mention you guys something. Let's go back to Liverpool's first couple of games of the season. So, our first game of the season, Bournemouth at home. We won did we win the first 7 games? Yeah, we won our first 7 games. So in our first 7 games of the season, we beat Bournemouth, Newcastle, Arsenal, Burnley, Atletico, Everton, and Southampton. Do you guys remember the narrative back then? Everyone was all like, oh my God, we're not even playing well, but imagine when we start playing well. We're 7 games unbeaten. Yo, we're going to do back-to-back. We've just spent 500 million in the summer. There was no narrative, no one mentioning the factors of this team is playing poorly because forever number 20. People want to make excuses now. It's not fair on the family of Diego Jota that people are mentioning that in an argument. I think it's actually a disgrace for people to be mentioning that on someone that is no longer with us and to their family. I actually think it's fucking disrespectful, if I'm being truly honest with you, the fact that people have been mentioning that. Do I think it's been hard for the players? Absolutely, yes. I've lost people before. I think it's absolutely devastating. I can't imagine what the players are going through because players are like family members. But please tell me why no one mentioned it in the first 7 games of the season. Now everyone's realised, oh shit, the performances are not improving and everything like that. And now everyone wants to just think and make excuses. Bournemouth, we were fucking terrible. Newcastle, 2-0 up. They were down to 10 men and we almost fucked it up if it wasn't for Rio and Gamoa. Arsenal, to be fair, 0-0 would have been a fair result. Szoboszlai stepped up. Burnley was absolutely diabolical. Atletico Madrid, that wasn't actually a bad performance. Everton wasn't too bad. And Southampton, I mean, oh my God, that was an embarrassment. So I don't understand, right? I don't understand the narrative that is being spun upon. I really don't understand where's the confusion. Who cares what you want or do want? This is not a wish list. Okay, so basically I should just accept that Liverpool are shit then. Am I mentioning like, and plus, yeah, I'm literally giving my opinion. This is my channel. I don't know if you've watched me before, or watched football YouTube or anything. Funny enough, when people go live on YouTube, they speak about what they want or their opinions or whatever the content is. Do you know what I mean? Hence why the title of the video, I want Arne slot sacked, nothing has changed. But injury update, Salah to be sold, question mark. And I'm giving him my reasons as to why I think nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. We've had, yes, a couple of wins, but it's not sustainable. It's simply not sustainable. It might be sustainable to the end of the season because of how poor Chelsea are and the run of the fixtures that they've got. We might scam 5th place because of that. Not because we're fantastic. Not because we've been playing well. Because teams like Chelsea have got so much difficult fixtures coming up and they just can't seem to win games and they're crap as well. This is going to be... what was the points tally for Champions League football last season? Should we have a look? Last season, 69 points, 66 points to get Champions League. Season before that, you needed 68, 66 points. I think, genuinely, this will be one of the lowest Champions League points that you need to get Champions League. I think, personally, 63 points will be enough to get you Champions League. I mean, with what? How many points are available left? 33 points. Do I see a world where Liverpool get 33 points? I mean, obviously not. So if you do think about it, you slap 33 more points on that, right? That's 78 points. We ain't getting that. I think we'll finish on about 63 points. I think if you go through our games, I think we should be if we win the next 4 games, I do think we'll get top 4. You're in the quarterfinals of the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. If you win your next 3 Premier League games, I do think we'll probably get top 4. Because I do think in the last 8 games of the season, we should be able to win a couple that should be able to get us over the line. Because if we're going based off the metrics that 65 plus points does get you it, that's a further 9 points. That'll take us to what? 54 points. You're telling me in your last 8 games, you can't go and get me at least 11, 12 more points? So I think it's going to be a very low Champions League place. I think it'll be a very low Champions League space finish, in my opinion. That's what I personally... well, Arne, mate, I think it will be 59, 60 points. I think it's going to be a low Champions League place finish because I think, look, when we look at the table, right? Let's look at the table. Right, Man City and Arsenal are getting Champions League football. They're going to get it. Cool. Aston Villa, 6 points. I know it's only 6 points, but I don't think we catch Aston Villa. Man United might catch them, to be fair. They're on a bit like 6 games unbeaten now. The thing is with Villa, it'll be interesting between them 3. If we allow Man United to get 3rd, that is, oh my days. Man United finishing above Liverpool is a sackable offence. They have Ruben Amorim for half the fucking season. Come on, man. That's another fucking one there. 500 million, no identity, no style of play, and you've allowed Manchester United to finish above Liverpool when they had Ruben Amorim, one of the worst managers in the club's tenure, for half a season, and they might finish above us. That alone is fucking sackable. I think, and the reason why I do think Liverpool will probably get 5th place, which will be the correlation spot, is just due to Chelsea's fixtures. They've still got to come to Anfield with a very good record at Anfield against them. I say Tottenham, but they're still Forest. Look, they're going to be fighting Sunderland to potentially on the last day of the season. They could be fighting for a Conference League or Europa League spot. Man City, Man United are in good form as well. They've got Aston Villa and Arsenal. I think they'll lose the next 2 games. Therefore, I think if they lose the next 2 games and we can win the next 2 games, I think we'll get it. I think we'll get it because I will somewhat fancy us to somewhat scrape over the line. We just got to hope that 5th place actually does become a correlation spot. I don't know what the rankings are as of right now in terms of how it's being placed in terms of from a perspective of what the correlation spots will be. Someone in the chat might be able to let me know. Someone in the chat might be able to let me know who's favourites to get the correlation spots in the Champions League. Villa are shite at the moment. Yeah. Big up, lads. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Klopp said if City needs him, he'll come back. That only means one thing, LFC, if you read between the lines. I mean, there was a report a few weeks ago that I think Jurgen... I think that was very much taken out of context as well. And I think... I can't see a world where Jurgen comes back, if I'm honest. The club's hierarchy is taking the piss. I'm sick and tired of the garbage footballer manager. Aren't we all, my friends? Aren't we all? But people make excuses. Apparently, you're just being negative for no reason for these conversations. But I'm sorry, if I'm going to be honest. If someone comes into my chat and says, do you want Arne Slot still sacked? I'll say yes. Like, what do you want me to do? Lie about my opinion? And then what's that saying about me? Do you want me to just lie about my opinion then? Because it's not something I'm going to do. I do want to bring up something about Arne Slot with Ryan Gamoa before we move on about the Wirtz stuff, and also do I think Mo Salah will be sold in the summer. This is what Ryan Gamoa said on Arne Slot. The manager Arne Slot is very important to me. He gives me a lot, I would say. After training, he always gives me the right things. We always have a meeting and he tells me how well I'm doing, and he just shows me certain clips of training. All the stuff here are very important and they are helpful. I don't know if you've seen, but Slot recently said he doesn't think Gamoa is ready for first team football. I agree. I don't think he's ready to play week in, week out. I don't think he's ready to be a first team starter for Liverpool. But that doesn't mean he shouldn't be given chances when you got Cody Gakpo doing fuck all on the left-hand side, Mohamed Salah doing fuck all on the right-hand side. If you're ready or not, take a chance. This is why Barcelona's academy is so successful. Man City's academy is so successful when it comes to them selling play as well, because they take risks on their youngsters. Like, we need to start taking a couple of risks with the lad, because I don't think Ngamo's overrated, but I do think he's still got obviously a long way to go in his development and everything like that. He said something about wanting more minutes. I just need to keep pushing and keep gaining the manager's trust, and hopefully that leads to more minutes. Hopefully, more minutes soon. He should be getting more minutes. Rio should. He should be getting more minutes. However, at the same time, the lad still needs. There's been times where Rio has come on and he's been poor, but I'm not going to criticize the lad. I mean, how old is he? I don't think he's even an adult yet. Rio is 17. He'll be 18 in August, so he's not even an adult yet. He legally, physically, can't go to the pub and have a pint. So I ain't gonna diss a lad who's not old enough to go and have a drink. I mean, can you buy scratch cards at 17? I don't know. Or do you have to be 18? I don't know, because it is technically a form of sense of gambling, isn't it? And obviously, you need to be 18 to obviously have the money to go into your bank account or whatever. I mean, look, I think with Rio, he just needs to keep doing his thing. I mean, how many minutes has he played this season? So in the league, he's played 9 games. He's played 2 games in the FL, 2 games in the Champions League. I don't know why I won't show how many games he's played in the FA Cup, though. Obviously, a lot of those have been very much microwaved minutes. You know, come on with 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes to go and whatnot. I do hope he gets given more of a chance, because I do think he's a quality player. I think he changed the game the other day. He took a risk, and that's the bright side with some youngsters. Some youngsters who just want to play football, they take risks because they know if they take risks, it can be an eye-opening for the manager to be able to get in them more minutes for the next up-and-coming games. So that's one thing I've always liked about Rio Ngamo. He has that confidence, he has that belief, he wants to take risks in when he's on the football. And he was taking risks on Saturday, and he was enjoying his time. I'm not saying starting games and stuff, but I'm sorry, if Gakpo has been crap for 60, 70 minutes, fucking take him off and bring on Rio. If you think he's ready or not, take a risk. Arne Slot is not really in the predicament right now to be playing it fucking safe. He's not in the predicament to be playing it safe right now, so he needs to start taking risks as a manager when it comes to these sort of things, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? 21 of you in the building, by the way. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already done so. We're on 20 likes. Let's try and run the likes up to 25, and we're 2 subscribers from 2.6k. So if we can hit two more subs, it'll be massively appreciated. Just need Slot to go. He's clueless. He barely gets game time. Yep. He barely does. But for people that are wondering, that have not seen the news around Florian Wirtz, we have an injury update. We have a injury update, and the update is that let me get it up for you. Where is it? Big ups to James Milner, by the way. I've just seen again that obviously he broke the record, didn't he? So yeah, that's actually really, really good to see. But yeah, I think it's gone out and feel to Sexter, isn't it? But basically, the injury to Florian Wirtz is nothing serious, which is fantastic to hear, because genuinely we missed him. We absolutely missed him, didn't we? And obviously, yeah, Slot says Wirtz had a problem with his back in the warm-up, but they are hopeful it is not a serious problem. Says he expects him back next week. You actually saw the difference with Wirtz not being in the team, and it was frightening without him in the team, because we lacked an identity in that midfield. We lacked a bit of life in that midfield, a bit of creativity, obviously one of the most important things as well. I'm hoping he is going to be back fit. I mean, how do you injure your back in a warm-up? And obviously, look, if he's going to be back, he'll be back for West Ham. Lucky enough, the next couple of games, Liverpool should be winning. Like, we should be able to beat West Ham, Wolves in the Premier League, and Wolves in the FA Cup in the next 3. Either with Florian Wirtz or without Florian Wirtz. And I think, that's good to hear, because when I heard the news he got injured in the warm-up, I was thinking, oh no, he's done a hamstring. Instantly, I thought, yeah, he's done a hamstring. And thank God it wasn't a hamstring, because if it was a hamstring, genuinely lock off the season. It better gets game time. Isak update. I mean, look, the only things that's new in terms of an Isak update is that potentially Isak should be fit for sometime next month. I think Isak will come back from injury for Liverpool probably around the Brighton game. If we beat Wolves, the quarterfinals, which is at the end of March, I think that's probably the time frame you're looking. So within the next 5-6 games, hopefully, for Isak. Obviously, he's got to go through the first team training, then he's actually got to build up that little bit of fitness before starting playing games. So yeah, that's the news about Isak, and obviously, Wirtz. That's good news to yeah, man, because if Wirtz got injured, oh Lord, pray for us. Literally. Yeah, pray for us, man. Actually pray for us. If Wirtz actually got injured, like in terms of like a long-term injury or whatever, oh man, I don't know what I'll do. Yeah. Let me see if there's any other news I want to talk about. I do want to talk about Mohamed Salah. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Mohamed Salah in terms of what's going to happen with Mo. Will Mo be moved on in the summer? I think Mo Salah will be moved on in the summer, unfortunately. Look, and I really do feel for Mo. He hasn't been great this season. We know that. By far, it's up with his standards. And I think I'm hoping, this isn't ultimately the way that Salah's going to be leaving the club, because it is a sad way to go. He's probably the greatest player I've ever seen. I'm not talking in terms of longevity, in terms of what he's delivered and the memories that he has given me. Obviously I wasn't alive for the whole of Gerrard's career. If I'm going based off players I've seen in my time, I mean, I was 10 years old when Gerrard left Liverpool. So obviously I do remember him, but in my lifetime, Mo Salah's the best player I've ever seen play for my club. And the way he's going out, it is sad. I won't lie. It is sad the way he is leaving the club, because I do think he will be sold. And I think you saw that very much in January, that Liverpool were willing to obtain, well, obviously listen to some sort of offers for him. And obviously, he didn't move on in the January transfer market. And I think ultimately we actually, if we'd have let Salah been sold in January, I think there genuinely would have been a riot if Salah actually had gone in January. But I do think, unfortunately, he will be leaving the club at the end of the season. I think the club will look at it from our point of view. If we can still get 40, 50 million, reinvest that back into somebody new, you're taking off 400 plus grand off the books as well. And I think, especially if we get Europa League, I can't say a world where he stays. And I think it is sad. This is why I really want us to somehow pull off an upset. And this is where I want us to do well, because if, let's say, for example, we get knocked out the Champions League, we get knocked out the FA Cup, and Salah leaves the club, it is a very, very sad end. I'm not going to remember, obviously, this season of him. I'm going to remember the very fun, great seasons. And I do think a lot of it is coming down to tactically. I think, you look at Mo Salah's positionings compared to last season. What did we do? We played him closer to goal. We literally said, Mo Salah, get you as far close as goal as possible. Do us the job. Put the ball in the back of the net. Hence why his season last season was absolutely insane, and the best season we ever seen from Mohamed Salah. This season is obviously completely different. He's playing in different areas. He's not really running about. He's obviously playing so drifted off the right hand side. And you actually look at it. Go back and watch that Brighton game in the first half. Right, go back to watching that Brighton game in the first half. in the FA Cup. Look at Salah's positioning compared to the rest of the team. There's literally no one around him. There's no support. There's no one, supporting him in terms of being progressive with the ball, trying to link up play with him, trying to get him actually closer to goal, which is what he's best at. And this is where I do feel sorry for him, because from a tactical standpoint point of view, there's only so much he can do. Now, going 9 games without a goal is actually mad. It is actually mad. I think this is the longest he's ever gone in his career, I believe. Because I know at Chelsea he never did that. At Liverpool, obviously, he's never done that at Liverpool, obviously. Never did that at Barcelona, never did that at Fiorentina or Roma. So I do think he has declined. Do I think he's declined massively? It's hard to tell, because I do believe if you were to play him in the positions and the tactical level, positioning of last season, I think he actually does improve by a long mile. And I think if 400 grand a week, 50 potentially plus million, I do think the club will look to accept that. As much as, do I want him, if it was up to me, would I sell Mohamed Salah? No. I wouldn't sell Mohamed Salah. I would like to see Mohamed Salah under a manager, an actual manager that actually will know how to utilize him and use him. Because we have seen moments this season, I think, where Mo Salah's declined. We know he's lost a yard or two a pace, but we knew this from years ago. Like, it's not like Mo Salah's just instantly lost a yard or two a pace this summer. I think he lost a yard or two a pace 2 years ago, 3 years ago. He's still relatively quick. He's obviously not fucking slow. He's still probably one of the fastest right wingers in the Premier League. You probably still put him in the top 10 fastest wingers in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? So this narrative that he's just all the way on the decline, I disagree with. But I don't disagree with. But I do obviously agree with the pace and everything else like that. And I think I'd just like to see him use his position of last season. I just think he struggled mentally this season. I actually think I'm not one of these people where I read heavily into people's body languages, but when I watch Mo Salah on the body language throughout the whole of the season, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. Even when he's been scoring a couple of goals and getting a couple of assists this season, his body language just doesn't look right. And I'm not saying there's something going on behind the scenes or anything like that, because obviously we know that was a thing a couple of months ago before Christmas. And I think, I just don't know, I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but for me, he just doesn't look right mentally right now. He just doesn't. Let me catch up with the chat. Slot out, what happened to you never walk alone? Not sure really what you want. Big up to Alf in the building, bro. I hope you're doing well, my friend. Big up to Alf, bro. Just let brother get Saudi bag. Baldi wants his ping pong on the wing. Yep. I actually think we've actually seen good moments of Salah this season when Frimpong has played, because Frimpong can support him with those pace attributes. Mo Salah doesn't have to sprint back, because we've got Frimpong who can do that. Frimpong has supported him very well this season, and obviously it's a shame because Frimpong has actually played well this season, but at the same time he's picked up 3 hamstrings. So what can you do? Big up to you, bro. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Big up to everybody in the building, man. So yeah, how many likes we're on? 24 likes. Let's try and get to 25, chat. If we possibly can. We're literally 2 subs from 2,600 subscribers, so if we can get that in today's stream, it would be massively I would appreciate it a hell of a lot, to say the least. So if we can get that, I appreciate every single one of you. Let me catch up. Let me see if there's any more news to go through. Any more news about the football club? But yeah, it's actually mad that we've actually. When was that? It feels weird Liverpool not playing in midweek. Like, when is the champ? When is the champ? When's the Champions League draw? When is the UCL draw? Because I can't wait for the Champions League. When's the draw? So round of the 16s on the 10th and the 11th and the 17th and the 18th of March. So that's in how many weeks? So that'll be in 2 weeks. But when's the draw? When's the actual draw for the thing? Like, is that this weekend? Let's have a look. Bro, I just want to know when the fucking draw is. When's the draw? It's alright saying, yeah, the last 16's then, but when's the actual draw? What? Obviously, we can get either Club Brugge. Who is it? We can get Club Brugge, Atletico, Galatasaray, and Juventus. They're the teams that we can potentially face. But when's the? I'm doing fine. Big up to you. 3 hamstrings in a single season. It's actually just cursed. Yeah, we've been. That's where I do think we have been unlucky at right back injuries. Conor Bradley out for the season. I mean, that's just unlucky in itself. And then obviously Frimpong getting a couple of injuries as well. Right, let's actually see if we can find out when this fucking draw is. I don't know why people just make it so difficult. Is this when's the Champions League draw? The draw for the Champions League around the 16th will take place in less than 48 hours' time for the final round of the feature playoffs getting underway on Friday, this 27th. So Friday the 27th will be the Champions League draw. So we will find out who Liverpool will face. You got Club Brugge Atletico tonight. We want Club Brugge to win because I'd rather face them than Atletico Madrid, if I'm being honest. Because if we go to the knockouts, where is it? Liverpool are a potential team that can get them. It will either be the winner of Galatasaray Juventus. As it stands, Galatasaray are going to be going through. So let's say Galatasaray goes through. It will either be Galatasaray or Atletico Madrid and Club Brugge. So they'll pick the 2 balls from the hat, and either Liverpool or Tottenham will get them. And then they'll also say which side of the bracket we're also on as well. So we'll know what side of the bracket we're on in terms of future potential opponents and who we've got. Who do I want? I probably want Galatasaray. No, I don't want Galatasaray. I don't want Liverpool to be going back to that stadium anytime soon. Give me Club Brugge. What are the games right now? So you got Atletico Madrid, Club Brugge tonight. Leverkusen, Olympiacos. I mean, Leverkusen not like they're going to go through. Inter getting knocked out to Bodo Glimt. Bodo Glimt, yeah, beating Man City to stay in the playoffs and then knocking out Inter. Wow, fair play. I mean, barring an absolute, it would be the greatest comeback of all time if Qarabag could do it. But yeah, they're not going to lose. Come on, man, they're 6-1 up. Tomorrow you got Atalanta, Dortmund, PSG. What we need is, yeah, Club Brugge to win. Get Atletico Madrid at this fucking tournament. Leverkusen are going to go through. We want Bodo Glimt to go through. Newcastle are going to go through. Dortmund will probably most likely go through. Galatasaray will go through. We want Monaco to do a comeback, knock out PSG. And we want Benfica to knock out Real Madrid. That's what we want. That is what we want. Let me just check 1 second. Any replies on that? No, fears. Just get at slot in my life, most boring football of all. Yeah, mad. Slot in Liverpool Club Brugge final. I want the rematch 1978. Yeah, when we did back-to-back Champions Leagues. Well, you can't get the rematch, mate, because we might potentially face you in the round of the 16. Like, we should be beating you. And then if we can get... No, this is no disrespect to Club Brugge. This is no disrespect to Club Brugge. Yeah? I'm not trying to disrespect you guys. But if Liverpool get Club Brugge, I'm sorry, you've got to be going to the quarterfinals. So we could potentially be in a stage, right, in the next 5 games, quarterfinals of the FA Cup. Top 4 could be looking a lot more positive and better. And a potential quarterfinals of the Champions League. Interesting. I'm surprised we even got to the knockouts considering we had our hardest draw on the UCL. Yeah, Club Brugge have been doing bits, to be fair. Fair play to them. Fair play to them. But yeah, chat. Appreciate every single one of you, man, for jumping in. Appreciate everyone, man. 28 of you in the building. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already done so, please make sure you're hitting the subscribe and you're hitting the like button. I've got to nip out because I've got to go to work. Yeah, I've got work at 3 o'clock. And I need to have some food and everything before so yeah, bless up to every single body, man, for jumping in the stream. Good stream, man. And yeah, the second channel, like I said, that is going to be starting next week. I'll do like an introduction type video. If you want to go and subscribe to it, make sure you go and subscribe. Right, let me pull it up. I just need to rebrand it. I do need to rebrand it. So it's currently down as watchalongs Plus. Right, I'm gonna put a link in the chat so you can hit the subscribe on that pin message. Hit that like. So we're gonna it was a boxing channel, but I want to rebrand it into a vlogging channel. So we're gonna go and vlog and stuff like that. Just make different content for once. Do you know what I mean? And I think the ideas of the vlogging channel, I think it could be really good. So hit the link, hit the subscribe on that, and all those good things, man. I appreciate everyone for jumping in. And yeah, man, it's been a good stream. Good stream chat. Talks about Liverpool. Mo Salah, will he leave? I think personally he will. Throwing Wirtz. Looks like the injury isn't going to be a concern as well, which is absolutely massive. Because again, if he did, I instantly thought he did his hamstring, and if it was his hamstring, Lord help mercy for us. But yeah, we'll be back on the channel. What day is it today? Is it Tuesday? I'll be back on the channel either tomorrow or Thursday. So I'll probably do the preview for the West Ham game maybe Thursday. Friday, we're going to do the Arne press conference reaction. We'll also do the Champions League draw reaction as well. And obviously this weekend, we'll have a match reaction out for the West Ham game as well, man. But yeah, bless up to everybody. Have a good rest of your day, whatever you're doing. It's Tuesday. I know Tuesdays are crap, but the weekend is only 3 days away again. But yeah, bless up to everybody. Take care, and I'll see you guys all very soon. Ta-da.